This video has been stressful. This video has made me not only walk away from the video, it almost made me walk away from YouTube. I have attempted to put this video up. This is probably my 5th time trying to put this video up. Each time I tried to put this video up, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And when I say everything, I mean from losing battery, losing storage, losing the video.
That T1 girl, don't need to read your mind, I can see the signs, girl. Hey, hey, if love is blind, girl, body like Braille, let me read between the lines, girl. Down like loose change, let's try new things. Way you shake your body, give me new swings. Running through my mind, she go Usain. Got me thinking about giving her.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, my name is Jeffrey, aka the Boy Mom. This video is long overdue. This video has caused me headaches. This video has caused me stress. I am now attempting my 5th attempt to put this video up because the first 4 times, everything that could go wrong with this video, be it making the video, editing the video, uploading the video, whatever it is, something went wrong every time. It got me down to the point where I walked away from the video. Like, we went on the cruise in May and it's August. I had completely walked away from the video. I wasn't gonna put it up. But I ended up giving myself a little pep talk and decided I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try it again. I don't know why it wasn't working before. I can't tell you. I don't know. But we're going to try it again. So, we went on our first cruise. And by first cruise, I mean our first cruise together. And Honey's first cruise all together. I've been on a cruise before. The cruise that I went on, though, was 20 years ago. I went on the Carnival Fascination. The reason I remember that name is because as a kid, I couldn't say it. I don't know why, but I kept saying like Fantasation or something like that. And so every time somebody would ask me what cruise we went on, I would say the Carnival Fascination. That's how I remember it's the Carnival Fascination. And last I heard, that ship not even running no more. I think they retired it. So it was a long time ago that I went on a cruise. So, yeah. But what I will say is the experience of going on a cruise as a kid and the experience of going on a cruise as an adult is totally different. I do remember a lot from my cruise as a kid, but I also know that a lot of the stuff that I pay attention to now, I was not paying attention to then. So if you've been following me or if you've watched my videos that I uploaded a while ago, like if you went back in my videos, then you see that when we went to Disney World, we spent a week in Disney World, and then I came back and I told y'all about our experience. Not only was I able to tell y'all about our experience, I told y'all about my experience actually planning the Disney vacation. Disney is a totally different beast than any other vacation. And the point of that video was to help anybody else who was either planning a Disney vacation, wanting to go on a Disney vacation, never been on one, getting ready to go on one. And so that's pretty much what this video is too. The only difference is I can't tell y'all about planning it because I didn't plan it. But I can tell y'all our experience. And my hope is anybody who's either never been on a cruise before, it inspires you to go on one. Anybody who's on their way on this particular ship, maybe never been on this ship before, hopefully it helps you, navigate better and know what to look for. Gives you ideas on things to do and things of that nature. I wish it could be more, how I planned it, but I didn't plan it. Anywho, so this was Honey's first cruise, and so anybody who's ever cruised before, you know how the sign and sell cards go. But when you go on a cruise, they give you what's called a sign and sell card, and I think I've been saying it wrong for like ever, because I kept saying like sip and sign or sign and sip. It was wrong. Whatever I was saying was wrong. I believe they're called sign and sell cards, and they look like this. So if you've never been on a cruise before, then yours is blue. Or if you've never been on a Carnival cruise before, then yours is blue. If you've been on one but not like 5 or 6, then yours is red. They give you those cards, and if you've been on a cruise before, then you have what's called a VIFP number, like I said, and so you have that on there. As you can see, Honey had never been on one before, so he didn't have one. Next time we go on a Carnival cruise, though, he should be red and he should have his VIFP number. As a matter of fact, I think he has one now. Yeah, he has one now. It's on here. I don't know why mine say VIFP club and his down. Probably because I already had one getting on the ship. I'm not sure. I don't know. But if you've never been on a Carnival cruise before, this is how you pay for everything. You don't use your credit card. You don't use your debit card. You don't use cash. If you are on that ship, you use these. They give you these when you go through the port. So once you go through the port, there's an area that you go to load your money onto these. So you take your cash and you give it to them and they put it on these. And this is your debit card, credit card, cash, whatever. Don't do like we did. Don't put all your cash on here, because on the islands and at your ports of call, some of them are cash only. And the ones that ain't cash only, they take your regular debit card. There's a international fee. Sometimes it's $2, and sometimes you'll pay with your debit card or credit card, and then the fee isn't attached to that transaction. It comes later, and sometimes your bank will be like, all right, what's going on, and they'll lock your card up. So always take cash. Know that most of your cash for on the ship you're gonna put on here, but don't put it all on there. We made the mistake of putting it all on there. There's also a guest services where you can reload it. So if you have cash, say you put like a fourth of the cash on here thinking I'm not gonna use that much, and then next thing you know, you didn't use it all, you can go to guest services and reload it. But you get these before you get on the ship. They have tiers, and the more cruises you go on, I don't know exactly how many cruises you have to go on before your color changes. I know for a fact that you only have to go on, after this one, Honey's will be red. And the only reason I know that is because I've only been on one Carnival cruise before, and mine is red. I don't know how many you have to be on before they give you gold, because the next color is gold. I know his niece and his sister is gold, so it might be 5, maybe 6, and then you'll be gold. But yeah, this right here, this is your money. When we first got on the ship, certain things that we would have done in the app before we got on the ship, we didn't do until we got on the ship. So like our drink package. Honey doesn't drink at all. So if you don't know, again, I'm all about helping. If you don't know, when you do a drink package and you're in a room with somebody, that person has to do that drink package as well. So with me and Honey being in the same room together, if I wanted to do the drink package, he would have to do the drink package. I can't do it and he not do it. Even though he's not a drinker, they don't care. They don't care. In their mind, if I get the drink package, because the drink package comes with like 15 drinks. I don't know about you, but I can't drink 15 drinks. Not in one day, because they come with 15 drinks a day, and I can't do 15 drinks a day. So that's kind of where they get you. That's where they get you. But in their mind, if I was to do a drink package and he didn't, instead of, if he did drink, if he wanted a drink, instead of him going to pay for a drink, I would just get him the drink, or he could use it on my card. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the same room. And so in order to cut down on that, both people in the room have to have the drink package. We ended up opting for the bubbles package. The bubbles package comes with pops and juice and stuff like that. Lemonade, sweet tea, and water is already free unless you want bottled water, because that's the stuff that comes in the fountains on the ship. But if you want Pepsi, Starry, anything else along them lines, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but anything else along those lines, then you have to pay for it. So we ended up just getting a package where we already paid for it. I don't know how many of those come. I don't know if it's unlimited or if there's a certain number like there is the alcoholic beverages. Like I said, it's 15 alcoholic beverages a day per person. So honestly, I don't think there's a limit, only because we was ordering it. Like, I didn't order that many. I think I probably got 1 or 2 a day because I was mostly drinking water, or I would go get a drink, and then I'd have like a Pepsi. But I had been trying to dial back on pop because my face was breaking out and stuff. So, or I would get like pineapple juice. So that's another reason why I say I feel like it's not a limit on there. I think it's unlimited because Honey kept ordering pineapple juices. That was his thing. Pineapple juice. And keep in mind, those are the like canned pineapple juices, not fresh squeeze, because fresh squeeze juice is not included in the Bubbles package. Yes, juice and pop is in the Bubbles package, but not fresh squeeze juice. It has to be like regular store-bought canned bottled juice and pop. That is included. And then I want to say bottled water, if you want bottled water. I know in the alcohol, in the Cheers package, it's called Cheers, I know in that one bottled water counts. So if you order a bottled water and that's the first thing that you order off your Cheers package, you now have 14 drinks left. So there's also that. I don't know if pop and stuff counts. I'm not sure. I did not have the Cheers package. Next month when I go on a cruise, I do have the Cheers package, so I'll be able to tell y'all more about that then. But for right now, I can only tell y'all about the Bubbles package because that's the package that we got. So going back to the fact that I didn't plan it, I did not have this information ahead of time, so we could not do it in the app. So we ended up having to do it at the bar. So what they do is you go to the guest services that's in the port and you get your cards, you load up your money, you do your thing. Because we didn't do it in the app and we had to do it on the ship, once we got on the ship, when we went to the bar and ordered our drinks, that's when we told them we want the Bubbles package. We give them our cards, they activate it, boom. Also, we did not get the Wi-Fi package until breakfast the next day. I did it in the app, but I was already on the ship. I don't know if you can purchase the Wi-Fi package beforehand or not. But I did end up purchasing the Wi-Fi package, but I did it while I was at breakfast the next day because I learned my lesson about not operating on the Wi-Fi. It showed up in my bill. It showed up in my bill. And then y'all know, as a mother, my kids, I was talking to my kids, and I have T-Mobile, and T-Mobile covers you pretty much everywhere. So the first time I went to Jamaica, I think I called and was like, oh, I'm going to another country, I want y'all to turn off my roaming. And they were like, oh no, you're covered over there. I am? Okay. Now, don't let them lie to you, because the first time I went to Jamaica, they told me I was covered, and then the second I landed, they said your data roaming is not on, and in order to turn it off, you had to do this. And I did, but when I did that, my phone only worked at the resort. When we was off the resort, I couldn't do nothing on my phone. I couldn't call, I couldn't text, I couldn't do nothing. On the resort, as long as I was on the Wi-Fi, I could call. The second time I went to Jamaica, I think I was covered. I think I was able to use my phone everywhere. It was a little choppy in certain areas, but I was able to use it. When I went to Canada, I was covered. So I don't know what happened between the first time I went in 2019 and the second time I went in 2022. I think they had updated their stuff, but they told me that I was covered and I wasn't. So on the ship, I forgot that when you're in the water, nothing is covered. Nothing is nothing in the water. So when I got to the Bahamas, I was covered, but in the water I was not. And I figured, since I'm on Wi-Fi, I can call and text and all that. And like I said, needless to say, it showed up in my bill. And I can't say I'm not going to do it again, because the kids like to call and talk and text, and they're my babies, and if they want to talk to me, they're going to talk to me. So I can't say that I wouldn't do it again, but at least I know in the water, I'm not covered. And then also with it being our first cruise and us explaining to the kids what it was that we were doing and where we were going, our youngest son Marcel, he was a little nervous. He like, but there's sharks in the ocean. Y'all are gonna be in the ocean with the sharks? So when I didn't respond to text messages and stuff, he would be like, mommy, you're not in the water, are you? So just know, anything that you do on your phone, you think you own the Wi-Fi, but you're not until you buy the Wi-Fi package. You kind of are though, because you need to connect to the Wi-Fi in order to use the Carnival hub, which is the app that has the itinerary and everything else on it. So I don't know, to be honest with y'all. I think they just be jipping you out your money, because you need the Wi-Fi in order to use the app. But I didn't purchase the Wi-Fi before I started using the app, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna pay more attention to that next time, because I'm not sure. I also know that I'm gonna call that number the second they say call this number to turn off your roaming because you ain't covered. Anywho, all that stuff that we would have done in the app beforehand, we did not do because we did not have any of the information. We ended up going with his side of the family because, I don't know if I said it already, his sister invited us for his niece's 22nd birthday. So it ended up being like a family couples group type cruise, and we went on Carnival, as y'all know, and we went on the Freedom. Anybody who has been cruising with Carnival long, you already know this information, but anybody who has not, the Freedom is one of Carnival's older ships. The Freedom launched in 2006. If you look at Freedom compared to a newer ship like the Celebration, Freedom is a much smaller ship. Not only is it much smaller, it lacks certain amenities that you would expect if you are comparing it to a newer ship like the Celebration, the Jubilee, the Mardi Gras, and things like that. So when I first heard that we were going on the Freedom, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed. And I was disappointed because, not because I had been on it before, and not for any real legitimate personal experience reason other than being a travel agent. I had looked into certain ships for clients, and those were the ships that I had aspired to be on. And so when I heard we were going on a Carnival cruise, I was excited, thinking we were going on one of the ships that I had recently looked into for a client. And when I found out that we weren't, I did my research. Now, once again, anybody who has been following me for a while, you know I research trips before I go on them, because I like to know what there is I can do, what there is that I can look forward to, where I want to go, places I want to go to eat. Like, I like to look into stuff like that beforehand. Not because these are things that I'm going to do, that's it. Like, no, but because at least I have a guide. So once I found out we were going on Freedom, I started looking it up. That's when I found out that it was an older ship. That's when I found out that it was a smaller ship. And that is when I was like, okay, I guess. I really wanted to go on a cruise, so I wasn't gonna be like, I ain't going. But I was disappointed because I wanted to go on like the Celebration or the Mardi Gras. Those were the ones that I really wanted to go on. So anyway, so we ended up on Carnival Freedom, and to be honest with y'all, it wasn't that bad. Not it wasn't that bad. It was great. Yes, it is missing certain amenities. So like, for example, the pools were very small, and every time I walked past the adult one, the 21 and over side, it was full to capacity. So there was no getting in that one. Same with the hot tub. The kids side, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it wasn't as full, but it's kids over there, they splashing, they doing whatever, they jumping, and I think for this trip I just wasn't just wasn't in the mood for that. I wasn't in the mood to deal with that, should I say. First of all, y'all know I love family trips. I love family everything. Being with my family is when I'm the happiest. Like, I love family trips. I love family friendly events. I go to see Disney type movies because I love being around my kids. But in this instance, I don't have my kids with me, so I'm not in the mood to deal with kid stuff. So I never got in the pool at all. The hot tubs on that side were always full. It was just, I don't know. So being the water baby that I am and not getting in the pool at all was kind of like disappointing. But I'm not really tripping because, like I said, it was always full on the adult side, and then on the side where it wasn't always full, it was kids jumping and splashing. And obviously I can't be mad at them for doing kid stuff. Like, you're here on vacation just like I am, so you want to have fun and do things that you do just like I want to have fun and do the things that I do. So instead of raining on their parade, I just opted out of getting in the water at all. Like I said, if you're comparing it to a newer ship, then it doesn't have like the splash pads for the kids, or splash zones for the kids, roller coasters, all the stuff that the newer ships are starting to have. It did not have any of that. And like I said in the beginning, I was disappointed because I was looking forward to experiencing that stuff, but I didn't, and I still had an amazing time. The kind of room that we had, we ended up with an interior. Once again, I was quite disappointed. I really wanted a balcony. The first time that I went on a cruise, we had an ocean view, and so I was like, okay, well, time to upgrade, time to do a balcony. And our room was picked for us, so we ended up with an interior. Once again, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed having the interior. Next time we go, even Honey has said he wants to experience all the different levels of rooms. So he wants the ocean view, he wants the balcony, one day he even wants a suite. So we do have intentions on getting those other rooms. But I will say this, the interior room was the best sleep I ever had. If you think about it, I think part of why we had such an amazing experience on this trip is because our house is still under construction. Our house has been under construction since October of 22. It is August of 23. We are just shy of a year of living in construction and chaos. People always in and out of our house, dust everywhere. We don't even have a couch right now because downstairs is under construction. So it's just always something. Like, it's a mess downstairs because stuff is just everywhere. Construction tools, ladders, push this over this way, push that over that way. Like, it's just a mess. And so having an interior room was peaceful. It was dark when you turn them lights out. If you didn't have a light and the TV on, you don't know what time it is outside. You don't know if it's daylight, you don't know if it's nighttime, you don't know if you're missing a party on deck, you don't know nothing. It's just, you can't hear nothing, you can't see nothing. It was just the best. God, I just can't even. We woke up early in the mornings to have breakfast because his sister was saying that eating in the main dining hall, breakfast around 9 o'clock is when it start jumping, and it'd be hard to get your waiter, it'd be packed, it'd be hard to get a seat. So she wanted to go at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So we was going. Go ahead. So we were going to breakfast at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So we would wake up at like 7:30-ish. So we would wake up early, but if it wasn't for an alarm clock, I couldn't tell you what time we would wake up because it just was that peaceful. So I can honestly say that having the interior room was not as big a disappointment as I originally thought it was gonna be. I think coming up in September we have an interior room. So I'm going on a cruise with my cousin for her birthday, and Once again, the room was picked for me, but I'm sharing a room with my cousin, and I believe she picked an interior, and I'm not even mad about it. When she first said that she did interior, I was pissed, but coming back from this cruise and experiencing interior, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. It just is what it is. And then also, I think I have the chairs package on that cruise as well, so I'll be able to tell y'all more about the cruise package. Anyway, I don't think I told y'all, so the port of call that we had to go to was Orlando Port Canaveral. That's where this ship leaves from. Orlando's Port Canaveral, and that's where it leaves and it comes back. So once going back to my research beforehand, recently before our cruise, like maybe March, April, May, like 3 months before our cruise, we had decided to go vegan. So of course the first thing I started looking up was how to be vegan on a cruise because I wanted to stick to it. I didn't want to get on the ship and start messing up. So I'm like, okay, so what can we eat? What can we bring? What can we... Being vegan on a cruise has so many mixed reviews. I ended up joining a group on Facebook, and I want to say it's Vegans Cruising Carnival or something along them lines. And so many people had so many different mixed reviews. Some people had a great experience, some people had a horrible experience, some people said it wasn't a lot of variety, some people said they had great variety. And so I was nervous. But the one thing everybody had in common was they said, talk to the maitre d' as soon as you get on the ship. Email the maitre d' ahead of time. I ended up emailing the maitre d', but I emailed them like on our way to the airport. So I highly doubt that my email was effective. So they said, talk to the maitre d' as soon as you get on the ship. When we got on the ship, we went up to the 9th, which was the Lido deck, and it had the bars, the food, the dance floor. That's what it was used for, the dance floor. And the movie. So the main deck, I guess you would call it. I don't know, the Lido deck. We went there, we sat there for a couple hours, and up there on the Freedom we had Guy's Burgers, a Mongolian Wok, a deli, a sushi bar, the buffet, a seafood shack, and a pizza pirate. I don't know if all of that stuff was open at this time because all we had was Guy's Burger, oh, and Blue Iguana, and the bars. So what we ate was Guy's Burgers and Blue Iguana. Me and Honey ended up having fries from Guy's Burgers. We did not get a burger, and we had burritos from the Blue Iguana. Everybody else got Guy's Burgers, so we never even traveled that far back to see if that stuff was open. And then the bar. So I did drink on the cruise, and I had to pay for my drink with this card. So I had to pay individually for my drinks. But I only got, like, out of the whole cruise, I maybe have 4. I might have had 4 or 5 drinks the whole cruise. So it really wasn't like that bad. But anyway, so I did not talk to the maitre d' because after we ate, we decided to go see if our rooms was ready. Once we realized our rooms was ready, we all went and took a nap because we had been up since... I had been up all night, but we had been up and at the airport since like 4 something in the morning. So we were tired. We decided, like, okay, we're gonna go take a nap. And his niece, whose birthday it was like, well, I do know that I want to do the deck party, so everybody come back for the deck party. So we're like, all right, so we'll take a nap and we'll come back for the deck party. So that's exactly what we did. We took a nap and we went up to the deck party. And to be honest with y'all, I had completely forgot about the whole maitre d' thing. So once we got to dinner, I was like, oh shoot. And we looking at the menu and we like, there's not really anything we can eat. So when the waiter came over, I asked, like, do you guys have any vegan options? And so he was like, let me go check. So he talked with the chef and he came back and was like, the chef can make you a chef special, and it'll be vegan. So I said, okay. I didn't ask what it was. I just was like, okay. Y'all, that meal, I can't even tell you what kind of meal it was because I don't know. I just know it was so good. It was tofu and peppers and onions and some kind of sauce. It kind of tasted like Indian a little bit, but it could have also been Asian. I don't know, but I know it was good. It was so good. It was, ooh, it was good. So once we told our waiter that we were vegan, because we all sat together at the table, it was all of us. Once we told them that us two were vegan, they took our room number down, our names, and they put like special diet vegan. So that night at dinner, after we ate, they came back around, asked about dessert or whatever. They ended up asking me and Honey what we wanted for breakfast the next day so that they could have it ready. And so we ordered our breakfast the night before and our dinner, because they asked what did we want for dinner the next day too. So they gave us options to a degree. They asked us what we wanted, but because we were so new to the whole vegan thing, we kind of was just like, well, we'll take whatever. So we ended up telling the lady like, well, she said we have a pasta dish with red sauce, which was pretty much like spaghetti, and it was kind of like flavorless. It could have used a bit more flavor, or something else. And so we was like, well, we'll try the pasta, but worst case scenario, we'll take this again. Like we like this, we'll take this. And so she was like, okay, cool. So we ordered our breakfast. I had avocado toast and oatmeal. Honey had regular toast with jelly and oatmeal. So by the time we came to breakfast the next morning, all we had to do was give them our name and our room number. And so they knew, okay, special diet. So the waiter that we have at night was not the waiter that we had in the morning, because in the morning we could, I don't know if we could sit wherever, because his sister already had the table. She did that. So we just walked in and said we was waiting. I mean, not we was waiting, we were meeting her, and they took us straight to her. So they came to take our order, and then once we told them like we ordered last night, they asked our room number and our name, and then they came back, they verified that that's what we wanted, and so we said yeah, and then they brought it out. At breakfast, after we were done, they took our order for breakfast the next day. Every night we ordered our dinner for the next night, and every morning we ordered our breakfast for the next day. The only time we had to do both in one time was the very first night. The very first night we had to order breakfast and dinner for the next day. And truth be told, everything that we had was actually really good. I was happy. I did not feel like, oh my god, I wish there was more options. Not in the main dining hall. At the buffet, I wish there was more options, but I only ate there once, so it really wasn't a big deal. So we did end up going off of the whole vegan thing. As far as one time we had Seafood Shack, and we did end up trying a guy's burger, because everybody was like, you cannot get off this ship without trying a guy's burger. Like, that's like cursing the ship. You can't do it. And we were so new to being vegan that we were like, alright. But what we said was we would wait till the very last day. On the very last day, so like the C day, which was the day before we get back, we'll do it on that day, so that way we don't miss nothing. If it do kind of affect our stomachs to where our stomachs hurts and we end up staying in the room all day, it's cool, because it's the C day, we ain't missing nothing. We'll just lay in the room and watch whatever movies they got, and then we go home tomorrow. So we'll wait till the last day. At the deli, we got vegetarian burgers and fries. They fries really wasn't all that, but that's what we got. So, and then the fruit on the ship, I was looking for stuff like strawberry, pineapples, grapes, stuff like that. They had a lot of like watermelon, honeydew, not watermelon, yeah, watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, stuff like that. And I'm not really a cantaloupe person. I just recently became a watermelon person, like over the last 2-3 weeks. And honeydew is okay, but the honeydew that I had on the ship, I didn't really like it. So I was kind of disappointed with the fruit selection. But that's neither here nor there, because it's not like I ate a lot of it anyway. So being a vegan on a cruise, on this particular cruise, really was not bad. It really wasn't. And they were very accommodating, given the fact that I was very last minute. So the dish that we had the first day, we ended up having that twice, because we ordered it again. We was like, the dish that we had the first day, can we have that again with the tofu? Can we have that again? And so they made that for us again. We had, on the last day we stayed, I guess we stayed long enough for dessert, I'm not sure, but you end up with the same waiter every day, so, or every night. And it was great because it gave our waiter a chance to really get to know us. And he would have the vegan dinner rolls out there. I brought vegan butter, and if you go back and watch my vlogs that I did, it was a little mishap with that butter a couple of times. But we got it together. I brought vegan butter so they would make sure that the vegan rolls was out for us. And on the very last day, he had went ahead and ordered us dessert, and it was like a mango sorbet type of, but it was so good. And I'm so upset because that's the day I was too full to eat. I was too full to eat. He had went ahead and ordered our dinner and our dessert. And so when we came, he was all excited. He was like, here you go. Like, we didn't order anything. So we like, what's this? We didn't order nothing. And he was like, no, I took the liberty of ordering it for you. And I was like, that was so sweet. Then he came out with dessert, and when he came around, he was like, what's wrong? You don't like it? And I felt so bad because it's like, it's not that I don't like it, it's just I'm full because I ate. It was the C day, so we kind of ate. That was the day we had the guy's burger, and we had something else that day, like not long before dinner, to where I was like, it's not that I don't like it, I'm just full. And I was just so happy, like you went ahead and did that for us. So it's really cool that you end up with the same waiter, because it gives your waiter a chance to really get to know you. On the C day, I did not record at all on the C day, because the few things that I did record was mostly like this, me sitting in the room talking and kind of telling y'all, oh, I don't know what we about to do, oh we about to go do this, we about to go do that. And I didn't really record any of the stuff that we actually did. So using the Carnival Hub app, I found, because that's where the itinerary for everything that's going on the ship is, I found a pamper party, and I dragged Honey to it because he's like, that's for girls. Well, we're together today, so let's go. I'm sure there's gonna be somebody that's not a girl there, like. And so we went to the pamper party, and at the pamper party they gave out discounts on massages and teeth whitening and these shoe inserts or something to help your feet and stuff like that. And Honey and I decided to take advantage of the discounted massages and teeth white. Those massages were worth the cruise in its entirety. Like, those were the best massages. And me and Honey ain't no stranger to massages. One thing we gonna get is a massage. We need to make it more regular, but one thing we gonna do is get a massage. These massages were the best massages we ever had. And I am not exaggerating. I know it seems like everything is the best that we've ever had. But they were. Like I said, I believe because so much was going on in our personal life at home, that just to be away from it for a while made everything that much better. That could very well be really what's going on here. But it was, oh my god, those massages were so good. Honey ended up taking advantage of the teeth whitening, and the guy who was going to do it pretty much told him, you don't need these services. I can't get your teeth too much whiter than they already are, like maybe a shade whiter, but I can't really get them, and they already are. So what you want to do? And Honey was like, no, I still want to do it. So he was like, okay, I mean, I'm gonna do it, you sure? And so we appreciated the fact that he wasn't just gonna take his money. He let him know, like, you're probably not gonna get the results that you're looking for because your teeth are already pretty white, so you're not gonna notice that much of a difference. But it's your money, and if that's what you want to do, then we're gonna do it. And so he did it. He was very happy with his experience. He was right. He did not get them too much whiter than they already were, because I don't know if y'all have ever seen Honey's teeth, but Honey's teeth are, he takes very good care of his teeth, let's just put it that way. He spends like an hour brushing his teeth. Maybe, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but he does spend quite a while in the bathroom on his teeth routine. He has like 3 different toothbrushes, 2 different toothpaste, floss, mouthwash, like he does the whole 9 on his mouth. So the dude was right. It was an experience. he did it for the experience, put it that way. But that was pretty much all we did on the sea day. And then that night we went to the World Works Here show, which is where everybody who works on the ship gets to come represent their, well, not everybody who works on the ship, but they represent everybody who works on the ship with their country's flag. And there was like 60 different countries of people that worked on that ship. And so it was really cool. It was nice to see. It was and it was a really cool show. We also saw the double headliner comedy show. We went to the comedy show every night. Our cruise was 4 nights and 5 days, and we went to the comedy club 4 nights. One of the comedians was super funny, and he was the we saw him 3 times out of the 4 times. We saw him 3 times because one day he didn't have a show, but the other comedian on there had a show. It was cool. I felt kind of bad because he didn't get the same reaction that the other comedian got. But I mean, he just wasn't as funny. I hate to say it, but he wasn't. And so we ended up seeing him twice because he did the double headliner show, and then we saw the other comedian 3 times. We saw him individually twice, and then we saw him at the double headliner show. So there's that. We did go to the club one night. So you guys on YouTube probably don't know, but like if you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or if you know me in real life, then you know that me and Honey are more so like homebodies. So we don't really do clubs and bars and stuff like that. But we did have a time at the club on the ship. I am more of a go outer than he is, and I am still a homebody. I think with my weight gain over the last few years, it has made me not as interested in doing some of the stuff that I used to do. First of all, having kids slowed me down a lot. Like, I was like out here every weekend, and once I had kids, I prefer staying home with my kids. Putting on the weight that I have put on has definitely stopped me from even the occasional go out like I used to. So being in that club it kind of reminded me of back in the day. Like, I'm out here, and I did not care about my weight. Like, that's the beauty of vacation. You get to forget about all your problems. Me personally, my weight is not something that I forget about because I'm very conscious of the things that I wear because of my weight. But it was very refreshing to see that some women don't give a you gonna get whatever I give you, and that's just gonna be that. You gonna get these rows, you gonna get this back, you gonna get this front, it just is what it is. It's out here, and when I go home I'll cover up. But while I'm on vacation, y'all don't know me, and it is what it is. And that's just how some women are. Me personally, I'm not like that. I'm trying to look my best at all times, and that's a confidence thing that I gotta work on. But you know what? This is the year that I'm gonna work on it. It was fun being at the club, and Honey ended up going back to the room and leaving me at the club. I was by myself, but I wasn't by myself because his brothers were there, his niece was there, her sister was there. Like, so I wasn't by myself, but everybody had somebody, and my somebody was back in the room. And then I'm an introvert, so it's weird because I make friends, but I don't. I make friends that make me, if that makes sense. Like, if you start talking to me, we can be cool because you'll realize I'm really cool. But I'm not just the type of person that's just gonna go out and start talking to people unless I'm drunk. Then I'll talk to anybody. But it just, I got a different kind of personality. People see me and they be like, oh, she look mean. But then they talk to me and they be like, damn, she cool. I know. I know. But I'm just not about to be out here. Like, a solo trip, I can never do a solo trip because I would be bored because I wouldn't meet nobody. I don't talk to people. But if you start talking to me, we gonna have us a good time. I don't know why I'm like that. I just am. So anyway, So once he left, I only stayed for a couple of minutes after that. And by a couple of minutes, I mean like maybe 30. I probably stayed 30 more minutes and then I left and I went back to the room with him. And that was that. I really didn't want to do too much talking about the port days because I have whole videos on that. And so if you want to know exactly how the port days went, then all you have to do is watch my videos. So the very last day, which they call debarkation day came and it was time to get off. Now mind you, you get off the ship at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Our flight originally was not until 9:30 at night. I probably would not suggest such a late flight, but I definitely don't suggest no morning flights because you don't know what time you're going to get off. They start the process at like 8:30, but you still got to consider getting off, getting to the airport, which Port Canaveral is an hour away from Orlando Airport. So you have to consider airport distance. You have to consider how are you getting there. Carnival does have transportation to and from the airports, but I don't know how it works exactly because I never took it. And if you have to depend on a taxi or Uber or whatever, you have to consider all of that. So I would not suggest a morning flight, but a 9 o'clock at night flight might not necessarily be necessary either. So for 5 o'clock, that might be good. Even 2 or 3 for real might even be good. But we had a 9:30 flight, unless you want to kick it in Florida. Now if you want to kick it in Florida for a couple hours before your flight, do you, boo. Get you a late flight, get off the cruise in the morning, and then kick it that day, and then get on your flight that night or the next day, by all means. I don't necessarily know if it was just because nobody really wanted to, or if because the debarkation process was a little bit more stressful and frustrating, and some tensions rose during that time, that people just decided like, I'm over it. Don't know. But we ended up getting a hotel. We rented a van, got a hotel. We got 3 rooms for a hotel because it was 11 of us, and we went there and we waited it out. So once we had to go back to the airport, get the van. From there, we dropped our stuff off at the hotel, and then we went and got something to eat. We stayed at the Marriott, which is like 6 minutes from the airport. So there's a lot to do, like a lot of stuff over there, like eat, hotel, stuff like that. So we went to eat at the BW3s around there, and then we went back to the hotel and we chilled there. My daddy ended up coming to see me because, as y'all know, my daddy lives in Florida now. And so once he found out that my flight wasn't until 10 o'clock that night, he decided to come see me. And so I sat at the hotel lobby talking to my daddy for a couple of hours, and then lo and behold, our flight got delayed. We already had a 9:30 p.m. flight, and it got delayed until 10:30. So I will also suggest, if you're going to get a flight like that, don't have to work the next day. It's not worth it. So our flight got delayed until 10:30. So we're at the hotel. Thank God we had the hotel, because if we were out kicking it, not only is that more money we got to spend, that's more time we got to spend out in the elements of Florida, and it was a thunderstorm. So we'd have been SOL, and nobody wants to sit at the airport that long. So with that being said, thank goodness we had the hotel. So we decided, okay, we'll stay at the hotel a little longer. And then I was like, well, we probably shouldn't stay too late because other people probably had the same idea. Like, we'll wait. So then we're going to have to go through TSA, and TSA going to be messy. Orlando Airport is always busy. Always busy. I never personally had an issue getting through there, but it is busy. So, but also I like the TSA. I like everything that comes with travel. So it ain't too much of anything that bothers me when it comes to travel. But honey don't like it. He don't like it at all. So that TSA, it'd be an issue for him. We went to the airport. We returned the van. We had to drop some people off. Then we returned the van. We had to go to the gas station. So we dropped some of the people off, went to the gas station, returned the van, went down there. So standing in the TSA line, our flight got delayed again by another hour. So now our flight that was supposed to leave at 9:30 does not leave until 11:30. So everybody get a little salty. So it's like 10 something. It's like 9:45, 10 o'clock. Only because it's like, okay, well, if our flight's supposed to leave at 10:30, we need to make sure that we at the airport and able to get to our gate by boarding time. So it's around that time. So now we see, okay, it's got pushed back another hour. So it's 10 something at night. Everything in the airport is starting to close. There are 3 things open: Starbucks, the ice cream spot, and Burger King. Here's where the issue came in. Burger King didn't have no burgers. The ice cream spot, nobody wanted ice cream. By this time, we all want food. Starbucks, they didn't have no food. They oven was off. And they were trying to close. Every time somebody get in line, they'd be like, after you, we close. After you, we close. It got to the point where so many people ended up getting in line because everywhere else was closed that they had to come literally pull the thing around to say, we're closed. After this person, we're closed. So for me, if I give me a strawberry refresher, I don't need to eat. I don't know what's in a refresher that makes me feel like I don't need to eat and I can conquer the world on just this refresher. I don't know. But I was like, if I get a refresher, I'll be cool. For Honey though, I wanted him to have something on his stomach, but the Hudson in there didn't have no snacks. Or they had snacks, but he didn't really want chips and stuff. He wanted like a sandwich. They didn't have that. Starbucks didn't have no food. Burger King didn't have no burgers, and then ice cream. And it was just like, I wanted him to have something, but everybody was like, we closed. And the airport was full. I don't know how many flights got delayed or canceled that day other than ours, but it was a madhouse in there. So we ended up getting refreshers, and I think we ordered like the lemon loaf. So we got the lemon loaf and refreshers. And I know the lemon loaf isn't vegan, but it was like at some point we got to put something. I wanted him to have something on his stomach because he's not like me. That drink is not going to satisfy him. He needs something on his stomach, so we got that. And then we went and we waited, and standing in line, our flight got delayed again. And it was delayed to the tune of not a public delay, but when you look at the clock, you like, we supposed to be taking off. What's going on? And so then they put it up on the board, delayed 30 minutes, delayed. So now by the time we actually get on this flight and take off, it's probably like 12:30, 12:45. So where we were supposed to be home by 11:30, we didn't get home until 2:30, and we got physically home probably around 3. And Honey had to work, and he had to be there at 7:45. So my suggestion is always take the day after a vacation off, always. And I solidified that when our flight got canceled when we were in Florida for my birthday, and our flight got canceled and we couldn't fly out for 2 days. I always take the next day off, baby, always. But and then also don't fly in the day of a cruise. We flew in the day of our cruise. I never suggest that. As a matter of fact, I think I told everybody like we should probably fly in the day before, get a hotel, and then go to the cruise port from there next month. I told my cousin that, and so she took that advice, and we're flying in the day before our cruise, and we're all flying out the day of the cruise. You can fly out the day of the cruise, just don't get an early flight. Don't fly in the day of a cruise though, fly in the day before for situations like that. Luckily our flight going did not get canceled or delayed. It was our flight coming back, which is cool, but there's always the possibility of it getting canceled or delayed the day you're going to, and you don't want that. So to wrap this video up, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope it taught you something. I hope it inspired you. Like I said, this is my 5th attempt at this video, so I really hope that, I just hope you enjoyed it. That's all I can say. I hope you enjoyed it. My suggestions, like I said, don't fly in the day of. Don't have a morning flight the day coming back. I want to go on other ships. I want to go on newer ships. But if I were invited to go on another cruise and this were the ship, I would do it again. It was an amazing experience, and like I said, it could have a lot to do with what was going on at home, but I doubt it. We had fun. If you have special dietary restrictions and you need, I would suggest, if you can, talk to somebody ahead of time, but if you don't get a chance, don't think like, oh, I didn't get to talk to somebody ahead of time, I'm gonna be stuck eating blue iguana every day. No. Like, we met somebody in the port while we were waiting to get on the ship who said she eats blue iguana every day because there's really no other options. Sis, I'm gonna need you to go talk to your waiter, because no. Now, when you're not in the main dining hall, blue iguana is probably like your only bet if you are like vegan. If you're doing more pescatarian like we are now, then there's Seafood Shack, and then you can always go to Pizza Pirate and get no meat. So there's that. I think that's it. I think I covered everything. If I did not cover everything, just comment below. Like I said, this was just our experience. I was not prepared to vlog at all on that ship. I left everything at home. My camera, my mics, everything, my stands, my tripods. I literally only had my phone. And in my first video, when I picked up the camera, 2 minutes before I picked up the camera is when I decided to vlog. Like, I was not gonna vlog, and so I was not prepared. Going on this next cruise, I intend to vlog, so I will have everything with me, and I will be more detailed in those videos versus what I was in these last ones. And I'll be more intentional with my vlogging than I was in these last ones, just because I know I'm vlogging. Versus at first I was like, I don't think I am. No, I'm not. Maybe I will. I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna be more intentional about it. So I got a lot covered in those videos, but I feel like I didn't get everything. So that's why I wanted to come back and get a little bit more detailed as far as the stuff that I did not show y'all. But like I said, I'm human and I'm still getting used to this whole YouTube thing. So if I missed anything, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. If you enjoyed this, please let me know with a thumbs up and a comment, because not only does the engagement help the algorithms for YouTube, it also helps me. Because like I said, y'all, I almost walked away from this video and was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I almost walked away from YouTube and was like, the engagement and the likes, the comments, the subscribes, that stuff is very motivating to somebody who is new to YouTube. So the bigger YouTubers, they want it because they getting paid. I want it because it helps me to understand what it is y'all want from me, understand what it is that y'all like when I do, and then it also motivates me to keep going. Because the reason why I felt like I had to try again with this video versus moving on was because I said that I was going to do it, and I saw that those videos actually had a lot of engagement. And once I said I'm gonna do a video about our experience, seeing the likes go up on those videos, seeing the comments on those videos, seeing the views on those videos, it made me say I have to follow up and I have to stick to what I said. Even though y'all didn't know that that's what I said I was gonna do, unless I said it in a video, which I think I did. But it made me feel more accountable, because now I have people that have seen where I said I'm gonna do this video, if that makes sense. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, join the family. That's it for this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.